Oh shit, here we go again.
Have you guys noticed we're all playing the same games we played 10 years ago, like a decade ago? Again?
Video game. Video game.
Video games.
Video game.
Video game.
Video game.
Why does it feel like every other headline in gaming right now is about a popular title coming back, being remastered, remade, or reimagined? Whether it's booting up classic World of Warcraft or grinding out my woodcutting in old school RuneScape, or even dropping into the original Verdansk, it feels like I'm stuck in a time loop and I'm going insane. We're living in the rose-tinted glasses era of gaming, where nostalgia is selling millions more copies than innovation. We keep chasing these good old days of video games, but the real question is maybe not why we're going back, but why aren't we moving forward?
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No. And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
Fans of World of Warcraft around the world, we hear you.
Let's start with a big one. Classic World of Warcraft. When Blizzard relaunched the 2004 servers of vanilla World of Warcraft in 2019, it wasn't just a niche experiment. It was a full-on cultural moment. Millions of players flooded back in. Streams exploded with viewership. Servers were overflowed to the max. People were literally logging back in to clear dead mines like I was in middle school again. And it felt great, I gotta say. And Blizzard didn't just revive these dead servers, they leaned heavily into the nostalgia of it. They re-released the content slowly, just like the patches were back in the day, to keep the progression of everyone on the same pace. Raids had to be re-cleared, PvP metas had to be remastered. And it wasn't just a game, it was a time capsule that we were all experiencing together. Where my horde at? In the same scope, look at old school RuneScape. A game originally frozen in time in 2007 and revived by Jagex because the players voted on it. And not only is it still alive and thriving as one of the most popular MMOs out right now, but it's constantly increasing player count. A game that came out over 20 years ago. These updates are voted on by the community and kept alive by the community around it. And they vote not to change that much. And that's how deep I think this conversation goes. Players aren't chasing memories with these old titles. They are a little bit, but they're actually rejecting modern changes. Then there's Call of Duty, whose player numbers over the past couple years have been dropping off a cliff. People are not happy with the current iterations of Warzone multiplayer and the yearly release model of $70 games that honestly are a reskin. But when recently Activision announced to bring back Verdansk, the original Warzone map that everyone holds great in their heart, anyone who was playing Call of Duty during the COVID times holds this map to a different standard. And people lost their minds. TikToks, tweets, Reddit threads full of people saying, finally, something worth logging back in for. And it's not like the current Warzone map is broken or is bad, it just isn't the same. This isn't isolated to MMOs or first-person shooters. Look at the abundance of remakes and remasters that are coming out nowadays. It's incredible. I don't want to play Final Fantasy again. Final Fantasy is a great game. We don't need all of these. They're fine. It's nice to relive a childhood game with modern-day graphics, and I'm sure they have the numbers to back that up to show that that's what people want. But is it really what we want, or is it just what we're given? Some of the most hyped games recently have been for the Tony Hawk's remasters, the Master Chief Collection in the past couple years. Just games that are re-released content. Even indie devs are tapping into this vibe with games like Shovel Knight, Hollow Knight, Vampire Survivors. They have these late 90s, early 2000s feel because they're capturing a feeling. And they're crushing it because they feel like games and not storefronts, not grindy chores. It's a form of entertainment, not a system to make money from the masses. And there's clearly a pattern forming here. We aren't just seeing a few retro hits here and there. It's the dominant energy in gaming right now. Studios are reviving the past because that's what's working. That's what the people trust. And honestly, the new stuff that is coming out of these studios, the stuff that's supposed to take us forward into the future, it's often met with silence, or even worse, backlash. I mean, look at Battlefield 2042 or the recent Assassin's Creed game. They just don't live up to what game releases used to be. So when people choose to go back to Modern Warfare 2, the original one, or play Skyrim for their 100th time, or even hop on the old Minecraft server with the boys, maybe it's not just nostalgia. Maybe they're actually better games. Now, some of it's nostalgia, sure, I'll give you that. We all remember those golden hours raiding with friends all night long, not a care in the world. But if we're being honest, it's not just about the memories. It's about what's happened to those games since those memories. Today, so many modern games feel hollow. Live service fatigue, battle passes, predatory monetization in every corner. And games launching half finished while I'm waiting around for the seasonal update to get me through. We keep chasing that old feeling, not because the games were perfect, but because they were complete. I knew my $60 would go to a game that I could play through in its entirety. When the new Call of Duty game comes out with a $70 tag, what are we getting with that now? Just access to the multiplayer? These old games respected your time. You could unlock things within them instead of just being locked behind a $3.99 microtransaction. They were made with passion and not spreadsheets and monetization. Just on a base level, compare old school RuneScape to RuneScape 3, or classic WoW to retail. The newer versions may have better graphics, but something vital is lost in translation. It's like we've traded soul for polish. So is this nostalgia wave harmless, or is it a symptom of something bigger? Sure, there are upsides of this era. Devs are listening to fan feedback. Older design philosophies are making a comeback, and classic games are being able to be accessed easier and easier. But here's the main issue, is that the new games are starting to feel worse. Publishers need to play it safe. Most studios are only 2 game cycles away from going completely bankrupt with the amount of money and manpower it takes to make games these days. Original ideas are getting shelved for existing IPs. Innovation is too risky for these giant companies, and that risk doesn't fit into the quarterly earnings report. And that's not just bad for creativity, it's bad for the entire future of this medium. Because how can we build the next generation of beloved games if no one's willing to take that leap? Here's the thing, we don't just want old games. We want the feelings they gave us. Excitement, wonder, freedom, the sense that anything was possible. Modern games keep trying to recreate those emotions, but they do it copying the aesthetics and not the values of what curated those emotions in the first place. You can remake a map, retexture an asset, reboot a franchise, but you can't fake the heart that went into those original games. Because at the end of the day, people don't want to relive the past. They want to stop being disappointed by the present. And honestly, that's worrying. Nostalgia is powerful, but it's not the problem. The real issue is we keep running back to the past because we don't have answers for the future. Because so few games give us a reason to move forward. We're not just playing these old games because they're familiar. We're playing them because they're better. Better designed, better paced, more honest. And if the industry keeps ignoring that, if it keeps chasing trends, microtransactions, engagement metrics, then what kind of games are we going to be left with? Because I don't just miss those old games. I miss what they stood for. So I want to hear from you. Is it nostalgia, or are these new games actually letting us down? Because I'll be real, most of my time recently has been spent in Pokemon Crystal, and I've been loving it. Drop a comment below and let me know what those old games had that these new ones just don't. And if you could hit that subscribe, it'd mean a lot to me. Hope you guys all have a good day. Here's 2 videos YouTube thinks you might find interesting. And until the next time, I'll catch you guys on RuneScape. Thanks for watching. Yeah, see, I never said it was perfect here.